Today we're looking at comparing decimal numbers, and we'll also look at fractions of a second. We're going to kind of go in a different order than the book today. All right, so when we compare decimal numbers, there are two things we really have to pay attention to: where the decimal is, and of course our place value. So a couple of things to remember. On the left side of our decimal, we've got our whole numbers, and we write those like ones, tens, hundreds. If we put a comma, we could go with thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s, and so on. On our right side of our decimal, we've got our decimal numbers, and we write those as tenths, hundredths, and thousands if we wanted to add more to it. So when we compare, like I said, two things to look at: where the decimal is, and then our place value. So these two numbers, they have the same digits, right? 74012. But the difference in this problem is where the decimal is located. And because of the decimal location, we've got different place values. So you can read them with me, but on my first number here, I've got a hundreds, tens, and a ones place, followed by a tenths and a hundredths. So my biggest number is in the hundreds place value, so I've got 740 and 12 hundredths. And over here, I've got my tens, ones, and then a tenths, hundredths, thousandths place value. So I've got a 74 and 12 thousandths. So when I compare, I first look at my decimal places, and if they're in different spots, then I can see that my number in the hundreds is going to be greater than the number in the tens, or in this case, the 70s. So let's look at this example. These do not have the same digits, all right? So what I can do is I'm going to go through, and on each side, I'm going to say over here and over here, I've got the number in my tens place is a 3. The number in the ones place is a 5. Decimal number. The number in the tenths place is a 6. All right, so here in my hundredths place value, I've got my first variation on a number. All right, so an 8 and a 9. Which number or which digit is greater? Well, the 9 is greater, and that means this whole number is greater. So we would say 35 and 69 hundredths is greater than 35 and 68 hundredths, or 35 and 68 hundredths is less than 35 and 69 hundredths.